Welcome to the College Recruiter webinar. The subject of today's discussion will be on how to avoid the 9 most common LinkedIn profile picture mistakes. My name is Andrea McEwen Henderson, and I will be your host today. I am one of the national account managers with College Recruiter, and I have a dozen years of experience in helping large and small employers reach recent college graduates and students. My primary responsibilities are facilitating our webinars, moderating the discussions at our college recruiting bootcamp conferences, as well as working with small to mid-sized employers on their entry-level hiring needs. College Recruiter is the highest traffic college job board with 150,000 unique monthly visitors. We help employers reach recent graduates and students of 1, 2, and 4-year colleges and graduate schools. We have permission to deliver emails on behalf of our employer clients to 7 million recent graduates and 10 million students. And we can also target them by major, school, year of graduation, diversity, and more. Our other solutions for employers include job postings, targeted mobile banner ads, targeted display ads, virtual career fairs, and custom research projects. For more information about College Recruiter, you can reach us at www.collegerecruiter.com/contact or 952-848-2211. Today's guest is Amanda Augustine, career management expert. Amanda helps recent college graduates and accomplished professionals reach their full career potential. Her goal is to get professionals into the right job sooner through personalized job search and career guidance. Amanda offers consulting, speaking engagements, and training sessions to all professionals ready to advance their careers. Follow Amanda at JobSearchAmanda on Twitter and like her on Facebook for up-to-the-minute advice. Want to work with Amanda? Learn more at www.jobsearchamanda.com. I'll now turn the webinar over to Amanda.
Thanks so much, Andrea. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day so far. And as Andrea said, we're here to talk about LinkedIn profile pics. But something to keep in mind, this is for any profile picture you need to use. And why is this important to the job search? Well, let's think about it. There was a survey that came out that 93% of hiring managers and recruiters are going to search for your social media profiles before they will invite you in for an interview. 93%, which means they want to see what you look like online, and they want to make sure what they see online matches what they're reading about on paper on your resume. And wouldn't you know, that picture is a part of that. In fact, LinkedIn found that you're 40% more likely to get clicked on if you have a profile picture. But it can't just be any picture. It's got to be the right picture. Having no picture at all, frankly, is better than having the wrong one. So let's talk about what the wrong ones look like and how you can avoid some of these really common mistakes that are going to make you look unprofessional. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with my favorite / one of the most common you see out there. And oftentimes you get this blurry picture. Sometimes it's really blurry and grainy. Sometimes it's super small and it's covered with this white box around it on LinkedIn. Well, really what this means is that your picture is not high enough in terms of resolution. So ideally, you want to make sure that your photo is between 200 by 200 pixels or larger. Anything smaller, and you're guaranteed to end up with a fuzzy or teeny tiny image that just screams unprofessional. So I recommend using a square headshot because it's going to work well with almost any social media account you're going to be using. All right, the crop. I think this is also probably your second most common mistake you see. You get half of your friend's eye in the picture because it's a really great picture of you and you absolutely love it, but your friend's hair is getting in the picture and it's not a full-on headshot of you. Now, while these pictures aren't that bad, and I will let you guys know, every single one of these photos is a photo of me. So I figured if I'm going to make fun of anyone, let's make fun of myself. And I will say, these have not been my profile pictures. These are just other pictures I happen to have that are good examples. So while I actually like both of these pictures, though they're a little bit from when I was younger, they're not appropriate because they really don't look professional. It looks like you can't take a freaking picture by yourself. So keep that in mind. You can always do a selfie in front of a mirror with a good background and still get a good headshot. So just keep that in mind. Avoid the crop picture. All right. the very, very close or the very, very far away. I don't know how many of these you see that are really close up because it is a little crazy and nobody needs to be that close to my eyeballs and see all the little veins in them, let's be honest. But I think you do often see people who use a picture that's far away because they like the full body shot. They think it shows a very professional setting. I mean, the photo on the left, that's a pretty professional-looking photo. It's me doing a TV interview. But you know what? I'm so far away. People want to look at these pictures because if they're doing a phone interview with you, they want to be able to look at the person they're talking to and get a better sense of who they're going to be speaking with. If you're coming in for a face-to-face interview, they want to be able to recognize you when you walk through the door. A photo like this where it's so far away, it's not really helping you. They still don't know really what you look like. They're still going to have trouble identifying with you and finding you in a crowd. So avoid either one of these types of pictures. All right, the goof. And yes, I had brown hair at one point in my life, folks. Well, these are funny, hilarious. Put them on Facebook. They're real, or Instagram. They're really not appropriate for a headshot. I mean, unless you're a comedian, there's really no reason why you should be showing this side of your personality. There's nothing wrong with having a great personality. There's nothing wrong with having a good sense of humor, but you're better off writing a really well-crafted summary that's showing off your personality than putting a photo like this. Say you're going for a job where you're going to be a financial analyst. Do they really want you dealing with their numbers if they're looking at a picture like this? So just keep in mind that your picture is a representation of your professional brand. What's the role that you want to go into? And does your profile picture reflect the brand that you want to convey for your target job? All right. There is some controversy over this, the whole idea of the very serious shot or the glam shot. I will say the picture on the left with me and a microphone in the middle of the speaking engagement, this is actually a pretty common headshot that you could see on somebody's profile picture, particularly if they're a public speaker and they want to show that, yeah, I'm good at this, I'm a professional, this is what I do for a living. For the average person, the average professional, this is probably not appropriate unless your entire livelihood is about giving public speaking and involved in those types of activities. The one on the left, though, I kind of find it hilarious. I used to love this picture, and now I've reevaluated and said, okay, it's a coy little look on the face. That is not appropriate, given how I want to represent my brand. So keep in mind, it's great if you have the glam shots, but if it's that beautiful airbrushed and the lighting and all that kind of stuff, does that image reflect the brand that you want to portray? For me, that's completely not what I'm going for, and for most people, I'd say it's probably inappropriate at the end of the day. All right. They're adorable, right? Oh, my gosh. The kids on the left, these are kids I babysat a million years ago. They're in high school now, which is frightening to think. And then the picture on the right is my dog, Marlin, who I absolutely adore. And these things are great, and they're cute, and they're fun to share with your friends. Why would an employer want to look at a picture of my dog when they're trying to get in touch with me as a potential candidate? At the end of the day, they're not hiring your kids. They're not hiring your pet. They're hiring you. And although these pictures represent very important parts of your family, at the end of the day, an employer is more interested in what skill set do you bring to the table, what experience do you bring to the table, how is that of value to them in their industry, in the job that they're trying to fill. And these pictures are really not helping you in that manner. While they're adorable, again, they want to look at somebody that they're actually going to be interviewing, and this isn't helping them much. Save these pictures for Instagram. Save these pictures for Facebook. All right. Bad lighting. There's a couple of reasons why the picture on the right isn't great. We've already talked about it. Should be a picture of you and you alone, a headshot. It should not be you and your partner, you and your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or your spouse. It really should be a headshot of you. And when you're only getting a headshot of you, not only do you want it to be a clear 200 by 200 pixels or larger, high-res kind of photo, but you want the lighting to be good. And in both of these instances, the lighting is horrible, and it just screams unprofessional. So if you find that the picture is really dark and you can't lighten it up using tools on your computer, then I think you're better off taking another picture. All right, group shots. right? They're lovely. They're great. Again, it's like having a picture where you got the crop off the side. Well, it's so nice to have a picture of all of you. Again, the employers, a valuable networking contact, when they go to your profile, they want to see you because they want to know who they're going to be speaking to or meeting with. And this really doesn't help them. They have to guess. I'm in a sea of women on the right, and I'm in a sea of women and men on the left. There's no reason why they should know which one I am in the picture. They want to know who they're talking to. So this is really not helping them very much. Make sure, again, one headshot, you. It sounds simple, but it seems that so many people seem to mess that up. Something else to note about the picture on the right, if you look, that was a New Year's Eve party. We are not appropriately dressed for work. So again, when you're thinking about what are you wearing in your picture for your profile, it should represent your brand. What kind of industry do you work in? So again, just like you would look for cues when you're researching a company in order to pick your interview outfit, the same thing goes for when you're choosing the outfit you want to wear for your profile headshot. Think about what's the work environment like and dress to that level. You want to dress as if you're going to an important meeting, and that's the outfit you choose. Whether you work in very casual settings and you prefer to stay in that company culture, or you work in a much more traditional setting where suit and tie or dress suit is the most appropriate outfit to wear. So always keep that in mind when you're choosing the whole ensemble for your headshot. All right. Now this one is by far one of the worst ones as well because, hey, if there's no picture, the first thing that a recruiter is thinking is, what are you trying to hide? They're worried. Now, I understand that some people are concerned about discrimination, whether it's age discrimination, something against race, gender, whatever it may be, and I do understand that. So no picture is better than the wrong picture. But again, you're 40% more likely to get clicked on when you have a picture accompanying your LinkedIn profile. And we know that that's such a great source when you're looking for a job in order to be found. So you want the fully fleshed out profile. I would suggest, hey, put up no picture for the time being until you have the right one. And when you have the right one, you really do need to upload it. So whatever you need to do to get into the right frame of mind, that's what you need to do at the end of the day so that you can take a picture that really represents you and your brand and what you want prospective employers to see and think about when they're thinking about you for one of their open positions. Now, here are a couple samples. And really, at the end of the day, you want to look professional, you want to look approachable, you want to look friendly. Now, you don't have to have a big toothy grin like this. I don't know if you noticed on my very first page, and we can look at it really quickly, but on the page, on the profile picture that I tend to prefer to use, my mouth is shut, but you know what? I'm still smiling, I still look approachable, and I still look friendly. And I think that's something to keep in mind, is that you don't have to do a big toothy grin if that's not you. You just don't want to be overly serious. You don't want to look angry. I can't tell you how many clients I've come back to and said, well, I'm happy you have a picture up and that it's clear and that you're dressed appropriately. You look like you're about to chop someone's head off. And guess what? That's not doing you any favors when you're trying to get a job. So make sure that when you are choosing that photo, you're being very strategic about it. And I'm sure Andrew and I will get into it in a little bit, but there are definitely some ways we can go about taking that shot without it costing you a ton of money and getting one that will really make sense for you. If you have any additional questions after this, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always on Twitter. You can learn more on my site. I also have samples there that you can look at. And feel free to go to theladders.com/AskAmanda. That's where you can find the bulk of my articles on anything from figuring out your resume to interviewing to negotiating your salary.
Thanks so much, Amanda. And I actually do have some questions for you. And the first one is, do I really need a profile picture if my profile is completely filled out?
And I think the answer is 100% yes. Now, if you're really concerned about certain discrimination issues, okay, maybe that's a tough call, and you're going to have to really weigh the options and decide if the pros outweigh the drawbacks to putting a photo up. But all the data says, again, you're 40% more likely to get clicked on. We know that recruiters are looking for potential candidates on there. We know that people are using that system for networking. So you're better off having a photo up there. But again, it's got to be the right photo. Again, no photo is better than a really bad photo. So when you're going to decide one way or another, wait until you have the right photo to put up there.
Okay. Now, what if I can't afford a professional headshot? What should I do?
You know what? I was very fortunate. I do have a set of professional headshots. But you know what? I had plenty of other headshots up there I had beforehand that were made with my phone. And that's the easiest thing I think people can do, is that there really are ways that you can do this. A couple things to keep in mind. If it's around school time, there's always a sale at, Sears or JCPenney's or one of those big department stores. Even now, Target has one. Walmart has one. You can go and get a portrait done for really cheap. If you have a family and you were going to get the kids done, ask if they can do one just of you alone as well. So there's definitely options there. Besides that, the best photo I ever took of myself that I used for my passport and all of my profile pictures until I got a professional one was I went into a Marshall's. And I went into the dressing room, and it was one of the nice renovated ones where it had really good lighting. The stalls are white, and I went in and took a selfie of the mirror. And it was the best photo ever. The lighting is fantastic, and also you can try on any outfit you want in the store. That's exactly what you want to represent that maybe you can't afford at the moment. You can dress yourself up, you can take those selfies, and you can walk out. It's high-res enough to work for your profile pics. I've tried it out before, and you don't have to spend a dime. So consider that as an option. Another option is if you're getting a passport photo done. Again, you got to be careful. The lighting can be kind of cruddy on those, but if you have to get your passport picture done anyway, ask for an electronic copy, and you can use that as well for your profile pic.
Those are great tips. I really like the dressing room one. That's great. So now, should I add a profile picture to my resume too?
All right, Andrea, unless you're planning to be a model or go into showbiz, I'm going to go with a negative on that. So I do deal with a lot of clients who have lived overseas or were born overseas and now are in the U.S. And a CV, which is basically the European version of a resume, always includes a small profile picture or a headshot in it. In the U.S., that is not appropriate. In fact, oftentimes you will actually be screened out by recruiters because they're so afraid of being accused of being discriminatory that they actually avoid looking at the ones with pictures altogether, so they can't be accused of deciding if you're worth it or not based on your photo alone. So rule number one, never, ever, ever include a picture with your resume.
Wow. So now, can I apply these same rules to other profile pictures?
Oh, my goodness, yes. The one thing you find out is that you really want a consistent brand. Online, on paper, face-to-face, however you're pitching yourself in person during an interview needs to match how you're representing yourself on paper, on your resume, as well as online. So think about what are the other sites that they may come across. Google your name. Where are you popping up? And is it a professional account that you want recruiters and employers to find? If that's the case, make sure you're uploading the same picture or a variation of it just so that it meets all the same standards. I actually recommend trying to go with the same picture across just so there's a consistent brand so that they know when they find you in one spot and they find the other account, they know that it is the same person, that they don't have to guess. The other thing that a lot of people forget about, these days almost everybody's using a Gmail account for their job search, right? It's an easy one. It's an up-to-date one. It's one that I definitely recommend using. However, your Gmail account has a Google account associated with it, and it does have a profile picture associated with it. If you are using Gmail and you email an employer or a networking contact who is also using Gmail, your picture is going to pop up. So make sure whatever picture is associated with your Gmail account is also in line with your professional brand. I had that happen where I had a candidate email me, and she didn't know it, but my professional email address, which does not have Gmail in it, is a Gmail account. Our company used Gmail as its provider, but changed the last part of it to match the company name. And her profile picture was let's just say, very inappropriate. She looked like she was about to go out clubbing, and I was trying to hire, an executive assistant. That obviously doesn't fit the brand. So always keep that kind of stuff in mind as well.
Now, my last question is, if I'm not on LinkedIn yet, is that bad?
Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. You know what? These days, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't need it, or I don't have a network, so what's the point? Well, that's exactly the point. You really do want to be honest. And listen, I'm a career coach. I've worked for the ladders in the past. I've represented a bunch of different brands. And at the end of the day, as a really effective, well-prepared job seeker, you want to have every tool possible in your toolkit. That's the best way to attack things when it comes to the job search. And LinkedIn is one of those essential tools these days. Part of it is for your professional brand and getting yourself out there. And while we're talking about, which is why we're talking about the photo. But the other part is that it's going to be a really good research tool. It's going to be a way to extend your network. So you want to utilize it. You definitely don't have to pay for it, but having a free version and having it set up and making sure it's fully fleshed out and in alignment with your resume is really key in today's job search.
Just fantastic tips, Amanda. Just things that I know I personally had never thought about as it related to a picture. So thank you for attending this College Recruiter webinar. The subject of today's discussion was how to avoid the 9 most common LinkedIn profile mistakes. And again, thank you for joining us today.